number 2 between Venture and E-Corp. We will start with the 1v1 on Kishonka, by Deska between Mathix and Kronos. Of course, Mathix representing Venture from the Netherlands and Kronos from France representing E-Corp and against all authority. So we'll take a look at how Mathix is doing here in the first round. Already off to a bit of a poor start here and makes a mistake. So Mathix moves down and the round is in Kronos' hands now. Kronos starting off as he means to continue, which is in the lead, of course. And despite probably knowing that Mathix has made a mistake, Kronos still in a good run here. He wants to get himself in the groove. He wants to make sure that he's getting himself settled into a rhythm that he is satisfied with. That's why you don't see, of course, players when, even though they've got a massive lead, they don't just completely go complacent and, you know, kind of trundle the way around corners. They're still looking to keep themselves on edge, make sure that they're keeping their hands warm, so to speak. Kronos, though, starts us off at 102.9, getting him the first points on the board. So, Mathix already down by 1 point. Nevertheless, only the first round of this match and the first sub-match. So nothing to worry about so far for any of those Venture players or Venture fans out there. As well as Kronos this time from the start. Oh, you can see a bit of an awkward transition there going through that left-hander. He went really low down on the kind of slope, so to speak. And this time he does start this round off at a slight disadvantage. However, you can see he already gained enough speed to catch up and he is right behind Mathix already. Goes a bit wider there, however. Oh, Mathix though initiates his drift too early, crashes, and once again Kronos has a free round here. So of course, not for a typical player like Kronos to have to worry about this sort of thing, of course, but in this situation, a player who's having his 1v1 opponent continuing to crash will take a lot of pressure off of their shoulders. Kronos, of course, though, very, very long-term time player at the very top level. You know, he'll be able to cope with the pressure he's done so year after year. Nevertheless, we are at round number 3 with Kronos taking home once again with a 102.7. So will it be the same in round number 3? We'll stay with Kronos once again. Players inside each other. See, Kronos goes very, very low down there. Perhaps in order to avoid going too wide in that corner, which seems to be a bit of a problem. I saw Eddie having trouble with that in the previous match. And Kronos in the lead so far, but only very slightly. Mathix still inside his car here. Kronos gets a tiny bit of airtime. Let's look at the chasing party, which is Mathix. Looking to get more speed going through here. Goes for the wider jump. Trying to work himself back into a point of contention with Kronos. However, CP by CP is falling further behind. Will it be the same case going here? He does seem to go for wider entries to these corners though, which might be skewing his CP times a bit to be a bit inaccurate here, because he's lagging a little bit. But he is closing in. He is within a 10th of his E-Corp opponent here. However, he loses a lot of time in that turn. However, this final corner can be tricky, but he does not pull it off. And Kronos takes it with a 102.39, which is a great time there by Kronos. Showing that even when Mathix goes on a good round, Kronos can turn it on and take home the round win, which he did in style there. So, see if Mathix get any answer to that, or if it is going to be a whitewash here. So Mathix this time in the lead in this round though. We go to Kronos, who is now with a bit more considerable of a gap to recover here. Mathix going wide here, but you see he does a wide jump to get himself a better angle. However, he's sacrificing a bit of time to Kronos here. Now Kronos playing in this map, at least in this match, for the first time, coming from the back in this section. And they're right inside each other now. 11,000s between both players. 500s now. The gap's slightly getting bigger, but if a gap that small, anything can happen. Mathic's getting more speed going over the magnet. They're going to have to risk it. And Kronos gets it just by nicking himself a bit more to the inside at the end. And does take him with a 0.6 with a great ending there by Kronos, despite having much lower speed. Rescues around for E-Corp, and the important thing about this format is any sort of points will help. Of course, if they get the 1v1 and they get it to 7-0, that means their opponent only needs to get, or sorry, the next 1v1 participant only needs to get 1 point, and then they have won the sub-match. So Kronos here knows what he needs to do. He needs to deny Mathix any possible opportunity to get points. And Mathix is struggling very slightly here. He's still keeping Kronos within arm's reach, but Kronos not very susceptible to mistakes or pressure, so Mathix is going to need to pull something out of the bag here, and it's not looking good yet. However, the round is not over yet, but Kronos, the round is over now as Mathix gets a little bit of a no drift initiating into that turn and will crash. So all Kronos needs to do is safe the ending. Kronos version of safing the ending at least with a 102.4. So running times like this, I believe the slowest time Kronos has run is a 0.6. So just to put that in perspective, that is the fastest time Mathix has run. I believe Kronos did actually run a slow round of 0.9 early on though, so I will correct myself before someone else does, of course. Nevertheless, maybe the penultimate round here. We'll keep an eye on Mathix here because he has all the work to do here and he has all the pressure. Kronos has already built himself up a rounds buffer here. He can afford to even save a few of these rounds a bit more and await Mathix to make the mistakes, which he does once again. So Kronos already looking to move up to sub-match point, which he will get if he wins this round, which he looks in prime position to do so with over a second worth of an advantage. You can see here, performing very well. Despite, as I said, knowing that he can save. See how fast Kronos is still running. Not many players can match this kind of level, and Mathix is certainly showing that he's not able to, at least to date. 102.5 there by Kronos. Even on a safe round, he's still putting in powerful times. So, is this going to be a whitewash for E-Corp? Are they going to take it home 7-0 in the first 1v1? What can Mathix do? But we'll keep with Kronos. He is, of course, the kind of key component in all of this. And he makes a big mistake. The first and the biggest mistake of this match so far for Kronos. And he is with an insurmountable gap almost to Mathix. He needs to count on a big mistake from Mathix in order to take this home. Mathix already going into safe mode by the looks of things. Which he should do, of course, because as I said, any little point he can get is going to be greatly needed for his teammate, who will be doing the second 1v1. As, of course, Kronos looking to be the strongest player at the very least, means that in the Venture minds that their weaker player will be going up in a second 1v1, so there will be more capability for more points. If there is such a thing as a weak player in E-Corp, I'm not really sure. Mathix takes it home though, 103.3. It's a bit of breathing room there for the second 1v1, but this does look relatively rudimentary. It looks as if Kronos will close this out, at least within the next few rounds. Next one or two, but we'll see if Mathix has any surprises in store for us. And Kronos makes another mistake. Not really sure what's happening here at the Frenchman. That's another mistake that puts him a very far bit behind. So Venture will be laughing here, might be getting more than they bargained for. So Mathix again only needs to fully save this round. Doesn't need any fancy times. Just needs to make sure he gets the point for that team. Mathix has always been very good at winning rounds solely by making sure he doesn't crash, which he has been doing a lot of this match, but at least capitalising on his opponent's mistakes. Just problems arise when his opponents don't make mistakes. Nevertheless, Kronos has actually caught up by half a second, which is a bit crazy, but Mathix once again brings home a 103.1, and Kronos sacrifices yet another point. He says he's unfocused, which is a problem for E-Corp. That could mean further points leaked, which is definitely not what you want. You're getting off to a slightly bad start here. Of course, not really that relevant in how the round will end by the looks of things. So that's the last two rounds of which Mathix has kind of got away with them, with Kronos making an early mistake, but now he has competition and he has a round he needs to win. He goes for the no airtime method, of which Kronos does slightly get his wheels up in the air. Oh, Kronos with the blunder though. Doesn't get the best drift on the left-hander there. And now losing time and initiates his drift. Oh, sorry, exits his drift too early. Crashes into the pole. Kronos leaking points here for E-Corp. He was in such a tear at the start of the match. Went straight up to 6 points with no answer from Venture. But now Mathix is making him pay for his mistakes. And there we go. So, another round to Venture here. 6-3. It is not over yet. Even Kronos can feel the pressure. Let's go to Mathix now. Not in cam 2, please. Mathix off to a good start here. Kronos a 10th behind. Already cut that down though. Still keeping Kronos at arm's length, but a very dangerous player to be having behind you. Can't relax for a moment. So Kronos gets through this section cleanly. However, Mathix is getting the better rub of the rounds, so to speak. Both players extremely close to the pole there. Mathix again staying ahead, goes very wide there for that. That might allow Kronos to get a little bit closer. Let's go back to him. So Kronos, oh, he goes really inside there. Mathix get a bit ragged on the outside, and now it all comes down to the last corner. Kronos going for it, and he dips inside at the ending. Mathix just went too far to the right side of the track, which meant that he sacrifices the round, and finally the first 1v1 is over with Kronos taking it 7-3. So that was kind of all the story of Kronos there. Him taking all the rounds of which he played well in pretty much. And the rounds of which he didn't play well, Mathix won them, so Kronos definitely not unbeatable, but we will then move on to our second 1v1, which will be played between Duchy and Yo-Yo by the looks of things. So we'll have a few warm-ups and then we will be getting underway. Bear with me 1 second. So of course the reason the players are not finishing, just in case anyone gets confused, is so as to not mess up the score. So instead of starting a fresh 1v1, you just use the scores that are already there. It's very warm here. This is a hot Scotsman, one must say, in more ways than one, I might add. Okay. So we are ready and waiting for our next rounds to start, but we will have some warm-ups first of all. This is the last time these players will be playing these maps as we move on to a new map pack and a new format for the next one. Exciting times. And as well, thank you for the follow, Cosmic R5. Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate the follows, the subs from A2 as well. Much love. So Yo-Yo, of course, the only one on the track for E-Corp, since of course no other people that will need to play this map. Both Venture players make the exact same mistake. So it looks like I'll have one more warm-up following this. You're almost waiting for Dutchy there to catch up, looked like. So, here we go with the second 1v1 here. Wait, why did you finish? I've no idea. Fuck it. Oh, they're just keeping it the same map. They're not. Wait. 0-0 again. I was confused there. Anyway. Here we go. Yo-Yo versus Dutchy. Will we be seeing the same story coming out as it happened in the previous 1v1? E-Corp going to take a commanding lead? Or is Dutchy going to strike at the heart of the Frenchies? At the moment, looks like a very good fight between these players. Looks like it's going to be a lot closer this time around. And at the moment it's side by side here. 7,000s between the players in that last CP. Yo-Yo went very inside. That means he didn't get a lot of exit speed. Did a good turn there. But again, Dutchy seems to be the one going for the exit speed. Yo-Yo for the inside line. Both players going for the same approach there, except Yo-Yo pulls off much better than Dutchy. Dutchy gets a no drift. He slams into the wall and Yo-Yo will get a free round here. So that brings us to 8-3 here. The magic number for E-Corp is 11. 11 to at least make it a draw, 12 to make it theirs. So Yo-Yo looking to stamp his authority on this sub-match, on this map. Into round number 2, goes very inside there, allows Dutchy to catch up by virtue of going for another line. Oh, nice line there by Yo-Yo, getting himself marginally more closer to Dutchy, and now catches up. A lot going through that right-hander. Dutchy had to do a tiny adjustment there to make sure he didn't hit the wall. So let's go to the chasing party, which is Dutchy from Team Venture. Or Venture Dutchy to some. And it's once again an extremely close round. Is this corner going to decide it once again? Dutchy goes for a pre-drift there to make sure he doesn't no-drift it once again. And this time we're going through to the ending. It's going to be extremely close here. This time Dutchy has the better entry and he gets in with a great time there of a .428. So good job there by Dutchy. bringing them up to 1-1 in this sub match, and in this little fight here, so to speak, and 8-4 in total score. So still a 4-point lead here for Team E-Corp. Welcome, Santos. So Yo-Yo only needs to get 4 points. Dutchy needs to get 7. And of course, both extremely capable players. A bit of a strange line from Yo-Yo, but see the amount of speed he's coming back with. He had to take the airtime even though he had his choice of line there. So he didn't crash. A very well calculated section here by Yo-Yo, despite having the very wide entry to that long, tight section. However, Dutchy is back in the picture. We have a 400 gap between these two. They're certainly putting on a show with some good rounds here. We're getting through to the end here. Dutchy very close to the inside there. Has to use a drop to initiate his drift. He's got a more... Oh, and he's got a poor entry to that. Didn't leave himself enough of an angle. And that will mean that Yo-Yo will take the round with a 102.6. And Dutchy has been defeated in round number 3. So Yo-Yo got half of the points he needs here. However, Dutchy's getting at least... He's got the best time out of these two players, but the times aren't going to matter if he crashes. Round number 4 here. Can Yo-Yo extend his lead? Or will Dutchy strike straight back? So we see here Dutchy's off to a much better start here. Of course, as I say that though, going through the tight section, he tried to keep himself of 0 airtime, which meant you have to go really close to the left hand side. He got it a bit too close this time and does make contact with the wall and is giving yet another round to Yo-Yo. So it's been the kind of story of the Venture players, at least in this 1v1 and the one before it, of making mistakes here. E-Corp players, at least for the start of their 1v1s, are holding very strong here. So now we'll be up to 10-4 here actually. So as again, if Yo-Yo wins the next round, then that will put E-Corp ahead 1-0. Well, thank you for following, Novasac. Appreciate it. Welcome. Welcome. Hope you're enjoying this match. The 1v1s have certainly given us some good entertainment. We have some close rounds despite the mistakes. Of course, with no mistakes, these players would be extremely close up until the ending, where they all seem to have a bit of trouble there. And once an E-Corp player gets on sub-match point, then they make a mistake. We've seen that story played a few times already by our friend Kronos. Oh, I can change it, choose my controller, that's beautiful. So, we have Dutchy up here at the top. Now he's in a position where he only needs to save to win the round, and it will be a free round for him to take it to 10-5. But he has a lot of rounds to chalk up here to defeat Yo-Yo. And Yo-Yo is definitely not the easiest player to go against. Definitely not a walk in the park. Dutchy getting himself through. Oh, he lost time there. But I'm sure he'll be happy as long as he wins the round. Nice tight inside ending there with a 0.8. But Yo-Yo still all smiles, recognises he's got a lot of rounds in the bag and an extremely experienced player, so he won't be cracking under the pressure. One of the most experienced players we have in the scene, of course. A long time top level player. And he is showing Dutchy how this start is done at the very least. Dutchy fights back. Has to go for the outside line though. They kind of switch positions. Yo-Yo normally goes for the outside line. Now it's Dutchy's turn. Dutchy getting more extra speed there though. But he needs to fight back a bigger gap than that. And he gets it by risking that left-hander. The fast left-hander. And he is going for it here. He has to beat Yo-Yo. He can't afford to lose a few more rounds here. He is in a make or break situation, and it looks as if Yo-Yo has got his number here. Dutchy's going for it. He's got a few turns remaining to decide this sub-match. Ooh, Yo-Yo went very close to the wall here. Dutchy needs to full risk the ending. He's got the inside line, but Yo-Yo just takes it by 300ths of a second. And Yo-Yo and Kronos take home the 1v1. Both 1v1s, of course, for Team E-Corp with a total score of 11 and a total score for Venture Dutchy and Mathix of 5. So, the players will continue to play at the very least. Oh, well, at least Yo-Yo will. As Mathix is now driving, that's certainly not right. And it's if Zykos was training in another server, has now came in for the 5v5. So yep, the Venture player Harney, of course, confirms that they wish to move to the 5v5. So that is where the destination of our next rounds will be. It will be PTC Bewitched. And let's see what kind of lineups the players, or sorry, the teams are going to put together here. See Harney and Zykos already on track. But let's see if we can get an idea from the Deddy Manias here, or the MX records I'll look at first of all. Omnipots has the world record of a .068, so I guess we can expect him to be playing. And let's see, so he joins back, so it looks like he will be playing. So in the Deddy Manias as well, let's see, Venture, the highest Venture player we have is Mathix in a .278. Soldier, a .336, Dutchy, a 351, N8 and Zykos, 454, Scary, 762, and E-Corp, of course, Omnipot's world record, Zad, a 241, and that is it for E-Corp. So at least we can see here the 391, you can see quite a few players around the Deddies for that. It looks like Silver and Kronos are going to be playing, perhaps Yo-Yo or Katic as well. So, that's only one server, of course. They might have a lot of players who are trained. You can see Raptor Ringoa as well, or sorry, Raptor at least has got a good time here. So let's look at who is on the field. So, E-Corp side of things, we have Omnipot, Silver, Yo-Yo, Raptor, Katic and Zad all on track. For Venture, looks like a 5-man lineup is decided. Harney, Dutchy, Soldier, Mathix and Zykos. That's a lot of Dutchies. And Bits is joining the server as well. So perhaps a 5v5 for Venture is not yet set, as Bits perhaps driving, or did he maybe just join for the 3v3? Questions. He is not driving, so we have no idea. E-Corp lineup still needs to be decided by the looks of things. Got quite a lot of the Venture players, that kind of higher amount of players in the sub-match, they seem to thrive a little bit more. But E-Corp are certainly no slouch of an opponent to go against. Extremely good players on both sides here. Zykos, Dutchy and Mathix, of course, the Dutch trio. And we have Harney, of course, long-time THE player. Oh, well, sorry, a short-time THE player who's previously in Q, I believe. You can see here a lot of .5s and good times coming out from all the players. It looks like we're going to have a high-quality match here. So we'll await the warm-ups finishing, and then we will get underway for our second sub-match of the day. still this one and the next one to go. We'll keep an eye on Zykos for the warms up. See how if we can get an idea as to how he's playing. It's weird though. Mathix has somehow got 9 points. I don't know. Weird. It's a bit of intermission here. But as we can get an idea from looking at this, both look extremely powerful, at least both teams. See, I've got their back. How's Venture doing? They are 1-0 down. So we're moving on to the second sub-match after this warm-up. They lost the 1v1 11-5 in total. It was Kronos versus Mathix and Duchy versus Yo-Yo. Of which the E-Corp players performed better at both turns. So will they secure the match right here in this 5v5, or will we see a 3v3 needed is the question. So we look like we are finally getting underway here. Zad with the Brazilian ESWC skin. Feels bad for Asterate. Well, we can't get everything we want, unfortunately, but what I want is a good, exciting match between these two teams. So hopefully that is going to be what we're going to get. And let's check out with round number 1 starting. We're going to go here with Yo-Yo at the start. Oh wait, and ending round. Here we go. So 5v5 between Venture and E-Corp. We have Zykos, Mathix, Soldier, Duchy, Harney versus Omnipot, Silver, Katic, Zad, and who we will be specking, Yo-Yo, as previously stated. So Yo-Yo in the first round on PTC, bewitched by Kezar. What will we see from the French maestro? Looks like mistakes. Plenty, at least in the first round. 2 players, I believe, have already fallen down, and Yo-Yo doesn't really get a good jump going over there. Finds himself in the middle of the pack. Zykos is far behind there for Venture. Mathix and Harney, though, looking good for Venture. Let's go up to... Oh, I believe there's a Venture player making a mistake, though. Mathix in the lead here. Where's Harney? Harney needs a good position here. It doesn't look like it. Mathix has got much backup, so he'll need to fight here. Needs a good ending. Oh, goes outside, gets good speed. He will overtake Silver if he gets the ending smooth. Or will he? Only just by 1/100th of a second does he take that over Silver. However, it will be very close as to who wins this. Omnipot's got last, so it looks as if it's going to be a blue round to start us off with. And Omnipot's bugs out early on. So first round goes the way of Venture here. Going to round number 2 though, we'll look at the key player Harney from the last round. He started us off with a 59.6, a solid time of course. And that was a player falling down. We're not entirely sure who it was, so we'll not check, or else we'll go through all 10 players of course. And Harney going for the more inside line here, keeps himself keeps all 4 wheels on the ground, which is the way it's supposed to be done. Zykos once again falls down though, so perhaps having trouble for Venture. But where are the teammates? Where is Soldier? He just makes a mistake as we spectate him. Looks as if Dutchy's going to be the key man for Venture here. However, it's a 3v3 up at the top. Zad doesn't get the best line, goes very wide. However, Silver's here to kind of, like the baton, so to speak. The baton has been passed to Silver. Silver runs on and does take the position over Dutchy. Will that be enough for E-Corp? It looks like it will be. And the round goes to them. So very good job there by E-Corp. They do have the round. Oh wait, never mind, I actually can't count. So, the round goes the way of the boys in blue, with Mathix winning his second round in a row. So, impressive performance there from Mathix so far. 2 first places for Mathix, 2 second places for Harney. Let's see what the next best player, Silver, can do. Oh, Zykos goes very close to the inside there. I don't think that was the best line from him. And he falls all the way to the back of the pack. Zykos not off to the best starts whatsoever. And a lot of mistakes, it must be said, coming out from the E-Corp guys. And the Venture guys here, sorry. However, we do have a lot of E-Corp up here. The only person missing, I believe, is Yo-Yo. Oh, big mistake there from Omnipots. He flies. He goes too close to the left-hand side there. And crashes. Oh, Zad, shaky going through there. Are they going to allow Venture away back into this round? Soldier's here. Soldier overtakes. Katic trying to get a smooth landing, trying to overtake. It's going to be close at the ending. And Soldier takes it by 0.003 of a second. However, it looks as if E-Corp have it with the 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 7th positions. Will it be finally a round on the board for E-Corp? It will be. Surprisingly, 2 very strong players, Omnipots and Zykos, really having a bad game here so far. So let's go to Omnipots. Does actually have the world record here. And is, I believe, the lowest point scorer. So, let's see what we will get from this round. Mathix, a good exit there. Takes up the fight for first place with Silver, Omnipots and Dutchy. I've seen a player has fallen slightly behind. Not entirely sure who yet. We have a lot of red players up here on the tails of Mathix and Dutchy here. However, if they can secure the top 2 positions and their teammates can take advantage of any other mistakes here, they might be in with a chance here. 4 E-Corp players now. Harney's getting involved as well. Mathix doesn't have the best line here. Who's going to take it? Who's going to have the best endings? Mathix pulling away. Dutchy makes a big mistake. That looks left of the round will go to the red team of E-Corp, and it will, with all 5 players within the top 8, securing them their 2nd round and bringing themselves equal with Venture. So Venture got off to a good start there, and Mathix in hot form here at the moment, but they're going to need even more from the rest of their players. Dutchy not performing well. And Zykos is at the back. We're going to watch Zykos this time. See if we can get an idea as to what's going wrong from the former MCon man. Ooh, that's a mistake from Harney though, who is a good performer at the very least for Venture in this sub-match. So that's a key player that someone else is going to have to take over from. Soldier and Zykos need to step it up here. Dutchy and Mathix are already near the top, but they need backup from the Venture boys. Dutchy drops down, only very slightly though, and Zykos is doing what he needs to be doing, getting himself closer and closer to the lead. However, he's going to go too far wide here and crash. I saw that coming a mile away. Let's go up to Soldier here. Mathix and Dutchy are in 2nd, 3rd and 4th. However, Silver just overtakes them at the death, 100 ahead, and Soldier, Mathix and Dutchy end up in an E-Corp sandwich. And that E-Corp sandwich is not going to go down well for Venture. It's going to give them indigestion, and it is going to put them 1 point behind. So for the first time in this sub-match, E-Corp are in front. So let's see how Venture react to that. Silver and Mathix performing extremely well here. Let's go to Katic, who is 3rd in the total point standings. Let's see if we can see him pick up the pace here, do more damage to Venture. Oh, but he does damage to himself. Tries to do damage to the wall. He cannot do damage to the ball. So, Harney, we go back to, who didn't have a good round last one, but he has recovered and he is within a group of his own players on the fight to Yo-Yo, Zad and Omnipots. You want to give Dutchy some support. Omnipots helping them out. Making a mistake. Zad in the lead, however, now though. Yo-Yo with a good line. Zad has to release. He won't have as good speed. Dutchy overtakes. Mathix overtakes. Harney, will he get him as well? Harney does. So this might just be a round for Venture still. The last position goes to Venture as well. So it looks as if that will be the boys in blue equaling it up once again at 3-3. So we are not done yet, boys and girls. We are getting the good match of which we asked for. So let's go to Zad here. Big Daddy Zaddy. Anyway, starting off near the back of the pack is Zad. But we have a lot of Venture players up here at the top, not making mistakes. However, as I say, that Dutchy drops down very slightly, allowing the E-Corp players a bit closer to the back of the pack to fight their way back up. There's all good times coming out from these players here. Ain't no one running slow in these matches. Harney up at the top here now though. Omnipots and Harney, important and key players looking to get themselves back in the game. Zad looks to cleave himself through the pack of Venture in this last turn. Mathix has a lot of speed. Dutchy as well. However, Soldier drops down. Who's it going to go to? Omnipots gets the win. And it looks like it's going to be an E-Corp round. Will Yo-Yo finish? Yo-Yo will finish. So I believe that will be a Venture round actually, if I'm correct. Am I going to be wrong again? No, I'm not. The mathematics works, guys. And Venture take the lead at 4-3. I'll keep our eyes on Yo-Yo, who's now at the struggle bus, well and truly. Oh, there's a mistake being made by a Venture player though. Let's see if we can catch who it was by. It wasn't by Dutch, it wasn't by Mathix. Harney's fine, Soldier's fine. So it looks as if Zykos is once again fallen by the wayside. So let's go to Katic here, who is in 8th position here. He's actually a bit behind the pack. Oh, bad turn there. So we need to go up a bit closer to the front of the pack here. And now we see Zad at the front. Harney makes a big mistake there. Harney's going to be sacrificing positions left, right and centre. He might at least stay in front of Katic here. Dutchy is going to be in 2nd place, but he is followed by a lot of red. And a lot of red makes up that scoreboard, with Zad taking home the top time. And that will mean a red round, and we're back up to 4-4. What a funny time from Zad, the triple 4 coming out there. However, not yet the fastest time. Fastest one driven in this match by Mathix of a 3.58. So let's go back up to Mathix. Does have a 13-point lead here. Extremely strong performance here from Mathix. 8 rounds, averaging around about 3rd place around, which is an incredible performance. That was a red player making a mistake this time, and there is a sea of blue up here at the top. All 5 players round about the top 6 or top 7. Oh, Mathix now makes a mistake though, after we've been talking him up for so long. However, only puts him about 0.2 or 0.3 behind his original position. Zykos makes a big blunder though. Soldier jumps a bit too high. We're rhyming off mistakes here, but the key players up at the top are staying strong going through the ending. Who's going to have the advantage here? Oh, and that was a big mistake coming out from the E-Corp player. So let's go back up to Zad, who will take the 4th position. Dutchy and Harney getting 1st and 2nd. Soldier and Mathix securing the 6th and 7th positions. So that will mean it will be another Venture round once again. So Venture trying to take command of this sub-match, but it's not entirely going their way as planned. But Let's go back to Dutchy here. Now at 53 points. Had a poor start to the sub match, but now he's getting his focus on. It's extremely strong. It's extremely close in points between 2nd and 8th here. 56 points to Silver, down to 47 to Katic. All these players performing well, and then you see how valuable Mathix has been. 71 points, 15 clear of his closest opponent. Almost been winning rounds, but on his own as the Dutchman. Or the Netherlander. And we have double trouble for the Dutchies up here at the top, followed by Harney. However, they do have Zad and Yo-Yo to contend with. Let's go to Yo-Yo here. Omnipot's is close as well, but if Dutchy and Mathix take the top 2 positions, it might be curtains for E-Corp in this round. Yo-Yo has a good ending though, but so does Mathix. Oh, and Mathix just takes it over Yo-Yo, and that will be another blue round here. So very good job there by Dutchy and Mathix, once again securing the round with some great times and bring it up to 6-4 now. Dutchy now taking the 2nd position and points. So while we see the E-Corp boys striking back, it's the first time there's been a kind of significant lead here in this sub match as far as I can see. So what will the E-Corp guys be able to do about it? Oh, big mistake there. I believe that was by Dutchy. Dutchy or Zykos is down. Harney having some trouble going through there. However, he does get a very low jump, which allows him to keep up. Mathix, almost a constant for Venture up here at the top. Let's go to Soldier though, who's right here in the thick of things. But I think that was another blue player dropping down. I think it's Harney and Zykos, pardon me for my early mistake, who have fallen by the wayside. Mathix can do what he can, but Soldier and Dutchy need to have a good ending here. Soldier, very good, moving up to 2nd place here. Dutchy's got a good ending as well. Who's going to have it on the final back straight? Omnipots takes the 2nd position, and E-Corp lock out all remaining positions. So is that going to be a GG? Zykos cannot finish, so it might not be. It's a draw, so it's not GG. We are at 6-4 still. Zykos was unable to finish. So end round there as Zad did not start. And Zad is still not starting. So it's been called a live round at least. And there we go. So everyone looks to be starting now. We'll start with Omnipots for what are the crucial later rounds here. Will E-Corp be able to recover? Be able to recover, pardon me. As Zykos once again makes a mistake. So Katic gets it wrong and does. Now a lot of E-Corp players are down, strangely. A lot of mistakes being made by E-Corp here, and that might be all she wrote. This 5v5 ending is a bit chaotic, but the Venture guys are powering through it with a top 4 here. Unless Silver has an absolute incredible ending here or mistakes are made, and they are not made. And E-Corp kind of messed themselves up there. And now it's definitely GG. And the final round of this will decide the sub-match at 7-4 for Venture there. So yes, it is 1-1 now, so we will have to play the 3v3, of which will be played on PTC Burnout. We ban Dutchy in massive capital letters by Omnipots. So it appears the players or the teams did not decide the bans beforehand. So let's look at the Deddy Manias to get an idea of why these players are banned, of course. Kronos, World record, I'm pretty much certain he will be banned. If not, then E-Corp, if not, then Venture must have one hell of a plan up their sleeve. But anyway, Kronos world record. We'll see if the MX page gives us anything more that's juicy. So Kronos and Omnipots has a 0.51 in TA, which we can see through the locals. But we have Venture Soldier at 545, Omnipots 550 in rounds, Mathix a 578, Duchy a 594, Bits 606, Harney a 658, and that looks to be it for the top 30. Anyway, Silver an 803. And the locals look as if Kronos, Omnipots, Raptor and Yo-Yo are the most trained. So Mathic's looking good here at the very least, starting us off with a 0.7 in the warm-up. Dace from Nederland for Tim Venter. Okay, so... Harney already wrote that he banned Kronos, so the matchup will look to be Yo-Yo, Raptor and Omnipots versus Mathix. Either one of the three of Mathix, Soldier, Bits and Harney, which I'm assuming will be Mathix, Soldier and Bits because Bits was out of the server beforehand, which indicates he has been playing offline of a sort. So I see the bets in the chats, guys. Who do we think will be taking this 3v3 Yo-Yo, Raptor and Omnipots for E-Corp versus either one of these four from Venture? Comeback maybe? Comeback for who? So Mathic's looking good here. Consistent 0.7 by the looks of things. We'll still have one more round of warm-up though. We've got players not looking very strong in the warm-ups, but who knows? They might just be smurfing. Kappa. This is looking good here. Yo-Yo's done with smurfing. He had enough. Global. So this map can be quite tricky still, as with that magnet turn you need to worry about keeping your gear on this. As well as this section you want to have as much exit speed as you can, but you need to start at the right side of that little drop down so you can get the jump smooth. But there is a few places the players can get caught out. By getting a no drift or something like that. So a GLHF again. This sub-match will decide who goes through to the winner bracket final against M&M Gaming. So here we go. Round number 1. And the lineups are Raptor, Yo-Yo and Omnipots versus Bits, Mathix and Soldier. So we're going to start off with Mathix here, who had a very sterling performance in the 3v3. Sorry, the 5v5, pardon me. And at least in the warm-ups looked very strong as well. So let's see how he performs on Burnout. Venture, I suppose, have a bit of a home field advantage here, having one of their players make the map, but of course might not count for much. Mathix touched the ram on the outside, which means he lost his grip and falls 0.1 behind here at the moment. So advantage definitely in the E-Corp camp here, with Yo-Yo and Omnipots up at the top, especially with Soldier making a little mistake there, went too close to the left. Mathix as well, initiated his drift too late here. Bits goes inside, and you'll see he doesn't have the gear, so Yo-Yo and Omnipots then re-overtake. And they are looking to keep the top two here, and Bits makes a big mistake there. So it will actually be an ace from E-Corp to start us off with. What kind of times are we looking at? 0.8 and 0.9 from the top two, and looking very good. And the first round are E-Corp. That's 1-0 to them. Tell me what to do, never mind. Okay, so round number 2 here. And we'll go with Omnipots here, who was the round winner previously. Ooh, a bit of a strained line going through here. You can see a lot of the players go for the inside line going through there and go between the poles. You can also go the left hand side of the poles. However, they do have a fight on their hands here. Oh, and that was a no slide coming out from Bits though. This map has not been kind to Bits. Now Soldier, he needs to get third here, as Raptor is ahead of Bits. So Mathix needs to keep first, and Soldier needs to get third for them to win this round. Soldier kind of dives into that corner, but he will not have enough. Mathix takes first place with a 0.7 though. But it will be Venture who fall by the waysides on this round, and round number 2 goes to E-Corp. E-Corp looking strong at the very least here. They might not be getting as fast times as Mathix, who we will be specking. In fact, we'll spectate Soldier, who is the maker of the map. See how strong he is here. Soldier's always been known as quite a consistent player, and he's always trained well for his own map at the very least. Oh, Bits and Mathix were very close to the left hand side there. That means he sacrificed exit speed. However, Yo-Yo sacrifices a lot more than exit speed and crashes into the wall, and as well, that was Mathix having a big bit of trouble there. So who's actually going to be ahead out of those two? Yo-Yo is going to be ahead, and sorry, Mathix is going to be ahead. So Omnipot's the only one left. And it will be a round for Venture unless major blunders are made by the boys in blue. No matter Omnipot's position, it looks to be he's going to win. So Omnipots will win, but with a 0.691 at that. But the round still goes to Venture. Pardon me. On meth, as Evermind said. But Venture getting themselves on the board. Let's see if they can get any more points on the board, or if E-Corp are going to strike back. We're going to watch Raptor this time. Seems good, Alex. I can vouch for that. Anyway, Raptor at the back of the pack here. Not looking like he's having the best of the round so far, but he's only 0.15 behind, so definitely not in a bad round. And we see here that Soldier and Mathix are also part of this battle. Raptor gets the upper gear though, and you see how he overtakes Soldier. Let's go up to Bits, who is the key player here. Where is Bits? There he is. Oh, a mistake being made from one of the E-Corp players at the back. Yo-Yo, can he keep his nose ahead? He can. He goes for a big jump though. But Yo-Yo keeps it all cool, despite Raptor's slight mistake. That was a very good time there by Omnipots as well, taking off a 6.88. Bring up to 3-1 for E-Corp. Yes, player, it's exclamation mark 1k. If you want to check out, you want to change anything, just feel free. Anyway. Let's go for Bits here. He's having a bit of trouble on this sub-match so far, only 10 points out of 4 rounds. Which is not very good for a player of his calibre, but then again, it's a very tough match, so... E-Corp definitely looking in a stronger position, at least in this map. However, in this round, the lay of the land has changed. Bits, however, makes a mistake. Bits having a lot of trouble with his consistency here, which is what he is kind of known for. Being slightly inconsistent, but when he's playing good, he can blow a lot of his opposition away, but looks as if he's the one that's going to lay by the wayside as E-Corp take another round home, despite making quite a lot of mistakes here. Not great times for E-Corp, but they will take their 4th round on the board, and only 3 more for them to confirm the win. Round number 4 to 1 round for Venture here. I'll stick with Yo-Yo at the moment. He's second in points. Not such a big gap between the top 3, but then 6 points behind the Soldier. Raptor down on 12 and Bits on 11. So, weak links in the teams are a bit clear to the eye at the moment, but that's definitely not to say they can't get off to a bad start and then recover. We saw, of course, Dutchy doing that last map, pardon me. So this time the Venture boys are looking better. However, Omnipots and Yo-Yo are on the charge here. All of them keeping their gears. And you see Omnipots going straight through the pack all the way up to first, along with Bits. Mathix, we can't really tell where he is. Soldier, close, but the E-Corp need first and third here. Yo-Yo not with the best ending, and Omnipots doesn't get a clean ending either, and drops down to 3rd place himself. So they got the 3rd, just didn't get the 1st. And there we go, Bits recovering for a nice time there of a 58.74. And that will make it 4-2 now, so Venture getting themselves back on the board. But let's see if they can do any more. We're going to go back to Bits again here. Slightly behind at the start, but only a few corners in. No need or cause for panic. Oh, Yo-Yo this time goes over the ram, and that means he gets a little bit of a slide. Oh, Bits with a poor drift through there. Allows Yo-Yo to catch up. Soldier's looking good here though, but Bits makes another mistake through there. Looks as if he's having a lot of trouble there. And now it is between the players at the top. Soldier with a nice lead here. However, he does have 2 players following him, which is not what Venture need. Oh, Mathix going for it though. Yo-Yo going extremely wide. Mathix needs this. And he does get it, so that means the round will go to Venture by virtue of Mathix overtaking Yo-Yo in the end. So very good job by Mathix there. Soldier securing first place with a 6-8-8 as well. So putting in the rounds when it's really needed are the Venture guys. So let's go to Soldier here. He's still in the bottom half of the scoreboard in points, but not to say he's not capable, of course. So at the moment we have 3 Venture players versus 2 E-Corp players. I think his Raptors fell down slightly. Yes, it is. So we'll go up to Mathix here. Currently sitting around 2nd place. That was Yo-Yo getting claimed by that wall there. Mathix going wide, keeps his gear by the looks of things, and keeping himself on a strong time here. We'll spec him to make sure he stays like this. Looking good through this ending is Mathix. And there we go, Mathix taking off a 0.72. Mathix looking very strong here along with Omnipots. And now Venture, despite being 4-1 behind, is now equal again. They have the momentum. Now it's the E-Corp players having trouble. We'll stay with Mathix here. Raptor definitely needs to pick up his performance a little bit here. He's 5 points behind the closest player above him. And E-Corp need that third player. Omnipots cut that inside really close. But this time we have no major mistakes through the first half of this map. Soldier going a bit wide there. Bits and Mathix fall down. Venture are suffering heavy casualties here. And we'll go up to the top to make sure Yo-Yo and Omnipots finish cleanly. Or we'll see if they make mistakes. Omnipots gets through the finish cleanly, as does Yo-Yo. A .605 being driven by Omnipots. And a 7-2 by Yo-Yo. So 5-4 here at the moment. E-Corp regaining the composure. Perhaps in that round there. Was that all Venture had in the tank though? Oh, there's an early mistake there being made. Who was that by? It was Bits making an early mistake here. So we're going to go up to Soldier here. He's on home turf here. He's got 30 points. He's right in the thick of things. But he needs to back up Mathix here. Mathix up in first place. Perhaps temporarily with his line, but he's looking good. Mathix looking strong here, but he needs Soldier in at least third position there. That was a mistake being made by Yo-Yo. Yo-Yo needs to stay ahead of Bits. Soldier gets a better line. Not as much speed as Raptor, but he needs a third place here. Omnipots catching up with the inside line on Mathix, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. Can Soldier get Raptor? He gets a more inside line. It's going to be close. And he steals it over Raptor. Great job there by Soldier, but they would have won the round anyway as Bits had Yo-Yo. So, 6-4-3 being driven by Mathix. He's shown that he ain't backing down from Omnipots here. And thank you for the follow, Fair Jack, as well. The scoreage, as one might say, is 1-1 at the moment. And 5-5 in this sub-match. It is as close as you would like it. We have Omnipots on 50 points. We're going to take a look at him. French Phenom performing well here. He is 7 points ahead of his nemesis, one might say, in Mathix here. And it does look like there's going to be a battle between those two again. However, Soldier and Yo-Yo want part of it here as well. However, Omnipots takes command of this round. He takes first place. Was very close to the wall there. Might have had to Neo slide there due to his line. Don't know if he kept his gear there. Doesn't look like he did because Mathix gets more speed on the exit. So it's an important battle up here for first. We see Bits is falling down. So it's going to be Mathix and Yo-Yo. Sorry, Mathix and Soldier are going to be the most important. But Soldier looks as if he's got a good ending here. Oh, Omnipots went for the low jump. But again, it's going to be Soldier taking home the round with the crucial positions. And Mathix leading the line for Venture here. And they are now up to 6-5 here. Are E-Corp going to be recovering from this? Or is it going to be Venture moving straight on to the winner bracket final? Let's go to Yo-Yo here, who is getting punished at the very least in his late round. That was someone dropping down though. I believe it was Bits. Let's see, Bits dropping down, yes. Go back up to Yo-Yo here, who needs a good run here. He needs to be able to back up Omnipots. Raptor's not having a good time of it. Oh, Yo-Yo gets a slowdown. He went too close to the inside there and touched it. So now Mathix and Soldier need to stay ahead of Omnipots and Raptor. It's all down to these players now. Omnipots either needs to get first, or both players need to overtake one of them. Omnipots going for it. He's very close here. Needs a spectacular ending. He's going for it. Looks like it's going to be tight. And he does not have it. GG. Venture recover in spectacular fashion in the 3v3 to take it home 2-1, and they send E-Corp flying down to the lower bracket. Venture will march forward to the winner bracket final, where they will be going against Molotovs and Marshmallows. So, good luck to these teams going forward, and see you all later on.